Welcome back, and more importantly, Merry Christmas. We have a great show lined up for you this year. Unlike last year, where Grouch decided to bore you all to death with the absurd question, is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not? Of course it is.
Hey, that video wasn't exclusively about Die Hard. It also covered Tokyo Godfathers and Batman Returns.
Doesn't matter, those films are staples for the season. For those who tire of the traditional overplayed films we see every year, not every Christmas movie needs to be Miracle on 34th Street or Christmas Vacation. Speaking of, which Christmas film will we be picking apart for this holiday season? A golden oldie like 34th Street? A film from our childhood like Jingle All the Way? Or maybe Christmas horror like Krampus to shake things up a bit?
Does that eggnog have booze in it?
I believe so. Why do you ask?
We're going to need it. We're doing Christmas with the Kranks, y'all. Christmas with the Kranks, a 2004 Christmas comedy based on the John Grisham book Skipping Christmas. Kind of weird since Grisham is better known for writing legal thrillers like The Pelican Brief and the Pelican Brief. I can't remember anymore. I don't read Grisham, to be honest. I read 1.5 books, The Pelican Brief and I forgot. Okay, once you've read one Grisham book, you've read all of Grisham books.
Oh, I'm reading a great John Grisham novel. It's about a young Southern lawyer who fights an evil corporate giant.
Hey, my Grisham's about that too.
So's my Grisham.
How does his one and only book centered around Christmas fare as a Christmas comedy with slapstick? Well, in my opinion, after watching this movie, I wanted to take a stick and slap myself with it until I could feel something again. Let me explain. The movie opens up with Luther and Nora Crank, played by Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen, taking their daughter Blair to the airport so she can go save the rainforest or some shit like that. I don't know, I wasn't half listening. But please take note of the day she's leaving.
Sunday after Thanksgiving, busiest travel day of the year. Can you remind me again, Blair, why you're traveling today?
That will be a point of contempt later down the road. The family says their goodbyes. Nora and Luther are now depressed. Christmas won't be the same for the first time in 23 years since their daughter won't be home this year.
Just won't be the same.
What won't?
Christmas.
It's kind of sad the more you think about it. But that sympathy the movie just earned, let's just take that sympathy and piss it away.
I didn't bring the umbrella.
Oh, I need that stuff from Chips.
It's gonna have to wait.
Okay, look, you stay in the car and I'll get him.
I'll go. Look, it's just sprinkling.
Our protagonist, ladies and germs. Following that uncomfortable scene, let's watch the worst wet t-shirt contest ever. Your one and only contestant, Tim Allen.
I really think you need an umbrella!
No! You know why I don't want one of your stupid umbrellas? Because
Alright, when did the jokes get funny? Don't get me wrong, a dude risking hypothermia for white chocolate that can be gotten any other time when it's not raining is always fun, but this is weak sauce. And not to mention the tone of the scene is all over the place. It goes from dark humor to corny slapstick. Pick a lane, movie. After Luther's impromptu shower, he sees an ad for a cruise line getting the old brain box going. He heads into work the next day to begin tallying up all the expenses from last year's Christmas festivities. And this is when he cements the idea to skip Christmas and go on a cruise instead. Now he just has to get Nora on board.
Nice quip.
What quip?
He's going on a cruise. All he has to do is get Nora on board.
I don't get it.
It's, Oh, never mind. Continue.
I have an idea.
Yeah?
A brilliant idea.
Oh, make sure you shut the curtain.
What are you doing? Sit down. Sit down. Button up and sit down.
Okay, that was kind of funny. Luther pitches his idea to skip Christmas and go completely cold turkey. No Christmas presents, no parties, no extravagancies of any kind. Nora's a little hesitant, but does agree with one stipulation. They must follow through with their annual donations to charity. Luther pouts, but he does fold. And thus, the complete Christmas blackout has begun. Nora heads out to meet her friends running into the Christmas card guy. Dude kind of takes it hard.
We're not going to be ordering Christmas cards this year.
Do what?
You heard me.
May I ask why not?
I'm really quite late for lunch.
Crapsticks, dude. Take no for an answer.
We've got to talk about your Christmas invitations.
We won't be needing those either.
She's not ordering Christmas cards either.
How do you simply not do Christmas?
Well, you skip it.
But then what do we do Christmas Eve?
Oh, you'll think of something.
When do you leave?
Christmas Day.
Oh. Then why don't you have the party anyway?
It piss off, lady! How about you throw a party? I get being upset on having to change your plans and all, but Nora's giving you the heads up. Find something else to do. Don't be so juvenile about it. Meanwhile, Luther is notifying everyone at work what the deal is. Now, he says he's not bitter or resentful about this, but when he's handing out memos, obviously his face didn't get one. When Luther and Nora make it home, they run into the Boy Scouts selling Christmas trees. Luther contradicting himself in the process.
We're not buying a Christmas tree this year.
Sorry we had to go up on the price.
It's not about the money.
Yes, it is.
We skip Christmas, save the money, and spend it on us for a change.
The turned-down tree prompts the scout leader to go and whine to the head of the neighborhood, Vic Frohmeyer, played by Dan Aykroyd. Vic confronts Luther, trying to guilt-trip him back into the forced holiday spirit, but Luther ain't having none of it.
But I gotta tell you, a lot of the neighbors are pretty upset.
Really?
Christmas has always been a neighborhood thing around here.
If you're trying to make me feel guilty, get off of it. I'd appreciate if you and everyone else around here would just respect my wishes.
Ending the conversation with a flyer to put up a forced plot device, snowman on the roof. And what's the deal with the snowman? Everybody has the same snowman. Is it a tradition or what? And this snowman will be a biggest part of aggravation for this film. The asshole neighbor shtick doesn't stop there. The next door neighbor, Walt, comes over to antagonize Luther.
I gotta get to work.
Still working for the man, huh? Thought they would have made you partner by now.
I gotta get to work.
Well, have a good one, old man.
What a fucking asshole. Not ashamed to admit, I kind of like the dude.
Nora Crank, we're here for Frosty.
Oh my Lanta, I've seen people get petty, but this is almost cult-like.
We'll come back later.
And Frosty better be here.
Oh, they're gonna come back.
What's the deal?
And she ruins the joke. Lady, how old are you? Put your big girl britches on and go out there and tell them no. Or do that and run away, I guess.
Nora? Nora, stop the car. Stop the car. Please, listen, hey, don't do anything you'll regret. Nora, give us Frosty. Nora, stop the car. Stop the car, Nora. Stop the car, Nora. Hold me for a second. Stop.
Oh my god. Nigel, where's that eggnog?
We drank it all.
Oh, damn. How about the Guinness? Do we got any left? I don't think I can tackle this movie sober.
A six-pack, I think. Wait, one's missing. Never mind, it's the brand new 5-pack.
See? Even Jamie Lee Curtis can't get through this movie sober. You know this movie sucks when the stars are getting hammered in middle production. Moving on to one of the most infamous scenes in the movie, Luther decides he and Nora need to get tans for some reason. Stopping at a tanning booth and wasting money I thought they were saving, triggering one of the most uncomfortable scenes I've seen in a while.
Wow. Wow. Excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
Nora Crank?
Here.
That's a mall, Nora. I'm Christmas shopping.
Of course you are.
Who thought this would be funny? Between the random dude barging into the booth and the creepy preacher, what's going on with the extras in the background? They look like regular mall shoppers, but act like they just got out of the convent. What's your baggage, people? This is a mall. It's going to have a tanning salon. You will see people in bikinis. I mean, come on, grow up. The following morning, Luther and Nora are looking through the paper and... Really? This is front page news? Is shit so slow that random people skipping Christmas and going on a cruise really worthy of front page news? What's on the second page? Steve from down the block getting shocked while putting up Christmas lights, or Bev Shields across the street relapsing into cancer?
Grouch, shame on you. That was a little too dark.
Oh, you think so, huh? Let's see what the movie thinks.
What's wrong?
It's Bev Shield. Checkup yesterday. The cancer's back for the third time. This could be her last Christmas.
Yeah, we go from a scene like this to this.
This could be her last Christmas.
What could possibly follow this up? Oh, and this is the husband of the lady with terminal cancer, by the way.
I try to be, old man.
Stop that.
Stop what?
Stop calling me old man. You're like 10 years older than me.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, prove it.
Now, the proper comeback would be, let's saw off a leg and count the rings. Instead, we get this.
I just heard about Bev. I'm so sorry.
Now, for a scene like this, we would usually get a moment for the movie to breathe so the audience can settle in and accept it. But instead, no, we get this.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
The same guy that Nora was so polite to, instead encourages a bunch of carolers to be as insistent as legally possible. Now, this is supposedly in retaliation for Luther not buying a Christmas calendar from the police association for charity and all that jazz, but the Kranks already gave their charity early on in the movie. And plus, Nora helps out with certain charity events all over town, like reading for the kids or helping out at soup kitchens, which the neighborhood is already aware of. So Walt's just being a jackass. At the beginning, I said movie, pick a lane, but frankly, at this point, the movie became a 10-car pileup with a giant snowman standing on top of the carnage. As the movie goes on, Nora begins to knuckle under and misses celebrating Christmas. On the other hand, Luther begins to escalate things with the neighbors instead of, maturing. Jeez, what'd the mailman do? I get the carolers, but why is the mailman on your hit list? The time has come. Christmas Eve has arrived. The Kranks are getting ready for the big cruise, but that's when a certain phone call changes everything.
All right, Frosty's dead.
What? Dad, is that you?
Wait a minute. Blair?
Turns out Blair is on her way for Christmas, and she's not alone. She's bringing her fiancé. Couldn't you have called beforehand? Sent word of any kind? No, you had 2 weeks to give your parents a heads up. I mean, how long was she in Peru? A couple of days? Because she left after Thanksgiving, and now she's coming back on Christmas Eve. How long did you spend in Peru, lady? Nora, now abandoning ship, decides to throw the cruise and Luther under the bus and have the Christmas party at the last minute. Luther heads over to the Christmas tree lot to negotiate with the Boy Scouts, and the troop leader, he decides to be a petty asshole.
Just one.
Yeah, how much is it?
$75.
It says 15 right there.
Yeah, supply and demand.
Now, the adult in this conversation would say, all we have is this little tree. I'll give you half off if you really need it. But this ain't that kind of movie.
Hey, Grouch, weren't you a Boy Scout?
Yeah. Your point being?
Just wondering if you got your douchebag badge like this tool.
No, but I did get my gator wrestling badge. Luther, now desperate, goes over to one of his neighbors and begs to borrow their tree while they're out of town, enlisting the help of Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle.
Come on, just want to talk to you, Spike. Spike!
Okay, now that was good slapstick. Too bad the rest of the slapstick in the movie isn't as good. Instead, we get this jingle all the way knockoff crap.
Happy holidays.
That was in the trailer, wasn't it? Yeah, I figured. She does get a hand buying it off another customer just to lose it in the next scene. Back at the house, Luther loads Dewey's little red wagon with his neighbor's Christmas tree.
You sure this isn't illegal?
Are you a cop?
They begin to make it across the road, and hold up. Wasn't that on its side, half destroyed a few seconds ago? I don't care. If the editors don't give a shit, then neither do I. Luther and Dewey make it across, getting stopped by the 5-0. Cheech Marin and Jake Busey are in this movie. Does it help? No. Oh, man. Turns out the cops are a little upset since the Kranks didn't buy a calendar earlier in the movie, giving Luther a hard time about it.
That sounds like it should be funny.
No, of course not, Nigel. It's not funny. Cutting to him in the car, they laugh. Dewey comes up, hands him the key, and says it wasn't a burglary, and the cops cut him loose. End of scene. There's nothing funny about it at all. They could have had some fun with this, but this movie does not believe in that.
What happened to the hickory honey ham?
Never say hickory honey ham again.
Oh, God.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just an aneurysm from sheer stupidity.
Wow, I didn't know you were that stupid.
Nora finishes up her outing coming across a wino in the store who knows just a little too much.
Big party tomorrow.
Oh, no, actually, it's tonight. My daughter's coming back from South America.
Blair.
Yes. Would you like to come?
You mean that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just drop-in.
You're on Hemlock.
Yes, 1482.
Thank you.
Okay, that wasn't right. But who is right in this movie? Nobody acts like a real human being, so who knows who's creepy and who's not creepy? Back at the house, Luther is putting up that godforsaken snowman, losing the battle against the forces of evil and getting knocked off the roof. The Kranks tell everybody what the deal is. Vic doing a rallying cry to the neighborhood, trying to get everybody to pitch in.
But we're a community, and the people in a community stick together, even if one of them has been behaving for most of the holiday season like a spoiled, selfish little baby.
Like hell y'all have it. Shit, I've seen preschoolers act more understanding than y'all. Everyone pitches in and prepares for the party. The cops from earlier go to pick up Blair. All this going on while some of the weirdest editing I've ever seen in a movie plays.
Officer Frohmeyer here. Did you read me?
I mean, gosh, where's my painkillers? Nigel, hand me a painkiller.
Here you go, last one.
Thanks, dude. The party isn't ready yet, so the cops have to stall and pretend to investigate a B&E, only for an actual burglary to be going on.
Oh, there he is. Police! Eat this!
Who are you aiming at, doofus? Forget your glasses in Home Alone? They do catch the guy, making for the most in-your-face episode of Cops I could think of.
Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
But instead of dropping the perp off at the station, the cops just let him tag along and leave him in the car while they go in and enjoy the party with the window cracked open. That's, not cool. Dewey shows up and hears one of the biggest lines of bullshit that I've ever heard and actually falls for it.
I'm starving out here. I haven't eaten in 7 days.
7 days?
Yeah. Any scraps I get, I give to the kids.
Letting the guy go. Nora gives a speech thanking the neighbors.
Thank you to all of you, to our friends and our neighbors.
Oh yes, thank them for constantly harassing and browbeating you until you finally knuckled under. Give them a big thumbs up. But of course, the movie will not leave well enough alone. Nah, Luther is in the kitchen pouting because he didn't get to go on his trip.
You're still moping because you don't get to go on your precious little cruise. Everyone out there sacrificed their Christmas Eve to help us.
Sacrifice what? Apparently they didn't sacrifice shit, because before this, they came to the party every year and were disappointed you wasn't throwing one this year. Those very same people who've been making you feel guilty and miserable this entire time got exactly what they wanted. I don't get this movie. Home stretch, baby. Home stretch. Luther, deciding to also knuckle under, doesn't want the tickets to go to waste and heads over to his archenemy's house and give them the tickets instead for the cruise line. This may have been a heartwarming scene if the old fart wasn't such a jackass all the way through the movie, but this is for Bev. That's more understandable, but she's got 2 scenes in the whole movie. It would have been helped if we saw more of her, but hey, take what you can get. But we ain't done yet, folks. Remember that thief?
Hey, get down from there! Get out off the roof!
Instead of all those other empty houses to choose from, this genius decides to rob the house filled to the brim with people, including 2 cops. You had a whole lane of houses to pick from. Why that one? I don't think this movie can get any dumber.
What's in that bag?
I told you you could use an umbrella.
What? Wait a minute. You're the guy that was selling umbrellas in the rain, aren't you?
It's a living. Merry Christmas!
What? The random creepy guy at the booze store was Santa at the beginning of the movie? That links into nothing? I mean, Nora comes out to Luther to thank for giving the tickets to Beverly and her husband, closing the movie out, while they look at the people who've made their life a living hell. In the back of my mind, I'm kind of hoping that Nora broke all the locks on the house and she set electrical fire inside, and they're just watching them burn to death as the movie closes out. This movie brings out the dark side in me. God, this final act was stupid, but it can't hurt me anymore, right? What? Okay, let me get this straight. So the dude working as a Santa who sells umbrellas on the sidewalk for money as a Santa Claus is actually Santa Claus. And that's why he knew so much about everybody else in the movie. So the movie is declaring this as Santa. Random? Which pretty much sums up this movie. Yeah, I hate this movie if it's not obvious. I can forgive a lot. This one just pushes me to the limit that I'm willing to forgive. For starters, what is this movie even trying to say? Doing your own thing is bad, conformity is good. If your plans conflict with the community, it's best to forget your plans and apologize for having them in the first place. What is going on here? At one point in the movie, I honestly believed this was not the real world, but instead of some kind of Truman Show experiment where the Kranks are in an isolated section of the city and every chance to escape is thwarted by backlash or resistance. If they somehow get out, they break the simulation, the program will end forever. But this isn't that kind of movie. Oh, hell no. It's not even close. I don't know how much of this movie is accurate to the book, but damn, this movie is sloppy. The comedy is either ripped off from other movies or just dated jokes everyone else was using at the time, like that Botox joke, which was in the trailer too. Not to mention, this movie shifts halfway through the runtime. The first half, I admit I complained a little too much about, but I was still able to watch it, feeling something for the Kranks. And the idea of a couple rebelling against Christmas tradition and doing their own thing felt different. But when they get that phone call from Blair, that all changes. And by the way, it is in the direct halfway point of the film. It's like the first half of the movie was written by someone who was at war with their HOA, while the second half was written by that same HOA. This movie even knocks the idea of the tonal change at the halfway point.
Stupid idea. 5 minutes ago, I was a genius.
Yeah, well, now you're an idiot.
How does one call change so much?
There is a way they could have fixed this movie just by a few simple tweaks. For example, let the scene with Walt and Luther play out, let their feud go on, and let Luther find out about Bev and allow him to decide to give the tickets unhindered. Because the way the movie plays it now, he's not going to use the tickets, he's just giving them away because he can't use them. But if he would actually chose to give them up, it actually made him feel like a better character. And also if it actually explored how Luther felt about this whole thing. It acted like it was trying to lead up to that, but it cut him off at the halfway point. He doesn't have a full character growth moment. In the first half of the movie, you can tell he's obviously pushing down what he feels about Blair.
As many of you know, Blair has joined the Peace Corps.
But it's never explored. You see how Nora feels all the time, the boo-hooing, oh Blair, Blair, Blair. But Luther never gets to air that out. If Nora would have asked Luther why he was doing this, and he actually explained, I was just trying to get through the holidays. Blair's not here and I miss her. It would actually made you feel something for the characters and allow Walt to tell everybody in the neighborhood what Luther did, and then everybody go, oh, I'm being greedy. Maybe we should just go ahead and throw Christmas for them and then let them celebrate with us. That would allow the whole neighborhood to have this one little turn moment where I actually like them again instead of wanting them to burn in a fiery inferno. And also, I get originality in Christmas movies is hard to come by, but this is just lazy. The first half of the thieving, or inspiration as it would be, is dialed back a little bit with some parts feeling like Grumpy Old Men in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but still feeling fairly original. But the second half is just unhinged. It rips everyone off. Jingle All the Way, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Home Alone, and even Santa Claus isn't spared from the rip-off job. I know I should say something good about the movie, but I just don't see it. The comedy isn't funny. I may have chuckled twice, and the rest made me groan. The cast is wasted. All these characters can be funny. I've seen them be funny in other movies, but I have a feeling they looked at the script and collectively decided to phone it in, because at the end of the day, a paycheck is a paycheck. Do I recommend this movie? Hell no. Go watch anything else. Go watch Frosty the Snowman for the 5,000th time. Go watch I'll Be Home for Christmas. Pick any Christmas movie on the Hallmark Channel right now. It is way better than this film. But horrible movie out of the way. I would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I will see you again next year. Close out, Nigel.
Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please tap the like button. If you want to stay up to date with the channel, please subscribe and ring the notification bell. If there is an issue, please leave a comment below. Again, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.